Hi everybody, and welcome to A Case of the Jills. If you watched my last video, you know that just recently I decided to take some time off of drinking alcohol. In the last video, I go into a lot of detail describing the reasons why I felt that this was something I wanted to try, and I really describe all of the implications for my personal health or what I expected to find out by not drinking. Alcohol is a toxin. It also affects the HPA axis. It affects hormones, it affects female hormones and thyroid. I felt as though since I had spent 2 years, if not more, addressing all of the different aspects of my life in order to support my personal health, I felt like this was one thing I hadn't tried yet and I really wanted to give it a shot. So right now, as I film this video, I'm actually a little over 1 month without alcohol, but without further ado, I'm going to give you the pros and cons of 1 month with no alcohol. None of this is in any particular order, I'm supposed to say that, although I will start off with something that is really amazing to me, which is sleep. My sleep really improved as soon as I stopped drinking. Not only did I sleep better, but I was able to sleep through the night without waking up in the middle of the night. I know that some of this has to do with blood sugar fluctuations, so I'll get to that later, but I was getting really good sleep. Since kind of going through recovery from hypothalamic amenorrhea, my sleep has improved as my nutrition has improved, but this is like a whole nother level. This is like, wow, you wake up and you are refreshed and rested in a way that's just incredible. Okay, second thing is, of course, no hangovers. I'm not really a hangover person, and I never really, at least not since college, drank enough that I would get like a hangover, so to speak, but there is still kind of like this mental hangover. If I drank the night before, I would wake up and almost have this kind of like, I don't know, maybe like wake up dread, like dread that I'm gonna feel like crap, whether or not I did. And, opening up your eyes in the morning knowing that you drank the night before, it kind of always gave me this sensation of like, oh, I'm expecting to feel like crap, whether or not I did. So I know that's a little bit weird, but basically that was gone, obviously, since there's no cocktails. Okay, number 3, no gastrointestinal issues. I have celiac disease, as most of you know by now, which means that gastrointestinal issues are always kind of like, they're like landmines. They like to pop up everywhere. There can be like swelling and bloating and gastro issues, and being perfectly honest, sometimes drinking alcohol would sort of elicit a response where the contents of my intestines would forcibly remove themselves from my body all in one go. Okay. Sorry, that was really like giving it to you, but the truth is that it's not always easy, even just on a regular day. So alcohol sometimes could exacerbate that, especially if it was something I was not used to, or if I happened to drink maybe a little bit more, or maybe on an empty stomach. So none of that. Okay, number 4, is this 4? 4. I am now able to get a little more accurate information about my hunger cues. Alcohol affects blood sugar. I'm not going to go into all the science behind that because that would be a whole other video, but it does affect blood sugar. Sometimes I would find that I would wake up in the morning super hungry if I drank the night before, or sometimes maybe if I would have some wine at lunch, I would be really kind of crashy in the afternoon. Remember, I live in Italy, please don't judge. So maybe sometimes I would either overeat or undereat, not necessarily accurately according to what my body really needed, but it was more of a blood sugar fluctuation because of alcohol. Am I making any sense? You know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. When you wake up in the morning after drinking, you are like super hungry, and I think that can throw you off massively. Or someone like me who's always concerned about my nutrition, I want to know sort of like what my body needs, and the way for me to do that is to listen to my hunger cues. This just makes that a much easier process. Number 5, I am more clear-headed, I am more productive, and my house is cleaner. I know my mom is happy about the last one. I'm not saying that I'm a messy person, but I know that I procrastinated on a lot more things before I stopped drinking. Being totally honest, I'm not really sure what the connection is between stopping drinking and feeling more productive. A lot of the times when I'm feeling a little anxious or I have a little extra energy, I am like cleaning, or I'm organizing, or I'm doing something that's more productive. I'm writing in a journal, I'm planning a video, I'm thinking about things that feel more engaging. If anyone else who is watching this who has quit drinking alcohol and felt more productive after they did, maybe you can explain to me why this tends to be a thing, but it seems pretty significant. Okay, number 6 is a lot easier because I have hard numbers for this. We are saving a lot more money. It is not that we would spend a lot of money on alcohol per se, but I would say we would spend more money on alcohol experiences. Reminding you again, I live in Italy. We do aperitivo here, which I think I probably explained before, but it's kind of like this time before dinner in the late afternoon, let's say around 7:30, even up to like 8 o'clock, and you go out and you have a couple of drinks and you get a lot of snacks, and it's a very social experience. Drinks are a little cheaper here. We would go out, that could cost us anywhere between $20 and $30, and we would do that a couple of times a week, and we're still kind of like going out and being social with our friends because Mauro hasn't stopped drinking. It's, you know, I'm not telling him he needs to stop drinking just because I am. And yes, that's a whole other discussion for a whole other video, but he has not stopped drinking, which is totally fine. It's that when we go out, I'll usually drink like some sparkling water or whatever, so that bill at the end of the night is less. Aside from that, I really like tequila, and so I would typically buy a bottle of tequila every now and then because I really enjoy it. I lived in Mexico for a lot of years. I like really good tequila. In the States, that could cost me anywhere between $30 and $50 a bottle. In Italy, it's even more because tequila is not really a thing here, so it's all like very, very fancy, and it's no less than 50 bucks every time you buy a bottle. So there's none of that. Saving that money, I'm not really sure exactly what it has gone to at this point, or I can't really tell you, well, I saved all that money and I put it towards something specific, but my bank account is definitely a little chubbier this month. Okay, number 7, I have found or met virtually or discovered some unbelievable people, like unbelievable people in the community of folks who have decided to quit drinking alcohol for whatever reason. So if you are at all interested in taking a break from drinking alcohol, quitting alcohol entirely, going completely sober, whatever it is, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you check out the Instagram accounts of the following ladies. There's Hip Sobriety, and by the way, with Hip Sobriety, Holly and Laura, they do also, it's called Home Podcast. Both of these things are amazing. Hip Sobriety also is a website. It's just, I mean, just go there, check it out. You'll get it. There's Annie Grace, who has books and a website and a podcast called This Naked Mind. Like, check this woman out. She's amazing also. There's the Sober Glow. There is Women of Color in Sobriety. She's incredible also. Also, there's an Instagram account called Tell Better Stories. I absolutely love this account. It is totally eye-opening. I'm not gonna trip over my words describing what they do because they do it so well. So just go to Instagram and check out Tell Better Stories and see what they're doing there. It's incredible stuff. The elephant in the room is going to be what happened to your body, Jill, when you stopped drinking alcohol for a month. Okay, we all know that I am not trying to lose weight. I am not trying to get ripped or lean or any of the above. However, I will tell you that in order to compensate for not drinking empty calories, I had to eat more food calories. What I mean is that there is a definite metabolic adjustment that the body makes when you stop drinking alcohol. You may find that you need to adjust your calories, especially if you're watching this channel. You may need to adjust your calories, meaning eat more, in order to compensate for not eating a bunch of empty calories or drinking a bunch of empty calories. So with that, also water retention, the ways in which alcohol affects water in your body is, well documented. Do a Google search if you're not sure about how all that works, but you will notice that you are retaining less water. And that's all I'm going to say about the physical stuff. Okay, number 9, and this is one of my favorite ones. You really get to know a lot about the people around you when you stop drinking alcohol. When you go out to dinner and you tell people that you're not drinking and you sort of wave the waiter by your wine glass, you really make people uncomfortable. Not everybody, but you will notice that there's certain people in your friend group or, friend adjacent kind of group that when you don't drink, they are really revealing something about themselves in the fact that they will not stop asking you questions. They will not stop talking about it. They want to know more. And every time you see them, if you see them consecutive times during the time period that you're not drinking, they're like, oh, you're still not drinking? Well, why are you still not drinking? If you think about it, alcohol, and I'm not the first person to say this, alcohol is the only toxic, addictive substance that you actually have to justify why you're not using it, which makes no sense at all, by the way. So here's a fun party trick. Go out with a bunch of people and say that you're not drinking alcohol and then watch and see who twitches. Yeah. Another really cool thing that has come out of not drinking alcohol is that I am much more aware of the messages that I am getting through media or advertisements or whatever, that alcohol is something that I should drink or do. It should be a part of my life because it's self-care, it's luxury, it's relaxation, it's stress relief, it's I deserve, I should. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that I have allowed these messages to kind of perpetuate in my life. I have totally been the person to post pictures of myself drinking Prosecco in front of a beautiful vista, as though the only way to enjoy the beautiful vista is to be drinking Prosecco. And again, if this is your experience and this is the way you want to experience life, awesome. I mean, I'm not here to be a prohibitionist and tell people that they shouldn't be drinking alcohol. It's just that for me, pulling that apart and realizing that enjoyment of life does not revolve around where I can have a cocktail, that's pretty big. My final positive is something that I'm actually really happy and excited about, and it didn't occur to me until later that the reason why it has now come back to my life is because I'm not drinking. So I started swimming again, ocean swimming. I used to do this a lot when I trained for a triathlon, and I haven't done it in years, and I just can't tell you how much I'm enjoying it. I really miss it. I didn't think that I did, but now that the weather is nice and I can go swim here, it's absolutely amazing. It makes me feel so calm and peaceful. I know that I wouldn't have done this if I didn't stop drinking, mostly because the day that it occurred to me to go swim was a day where normally at that hour we would be out with our friends, like having aperitivo, or we would have been drinking somewhere. We were at the beach. Instead, it was a beautiful late afternoon, and I said to myself, man, I'm gonna go buy goggles and a swim cap and I'm gonna get in that water. By the way, I am sucking wind big time. My lungs are just somehow not big enough anymore. It's become something that I look forward to doing as many times as possible during the week, and I'm super excited that that has opened up for me again because I'm not drinking. Now for the very few negative things about not drinking alcohol. And it's not even negative, like I don't even wanna say that it's negative. They're just things that are a little like, ugh. Okay, number one, I live in Italy. Do I have to even like put another sentence at the end of that? Like, I live in Italy. The wine here is beautiful and amazing and delicious, and the quality is crazy. Like, you go to a restaurant here and you sit down and you ask the waiter, oh, I'd like a white wine, and what do you think is good? And he's like, oh yeah, there's that church over there? Like, behind the church is where the vineyard is where this wine comes from. And you're like, whoa. So that can be kind of a bummer sometimes, knowing that I'm not experiencing that. And I'm not trying to make this like a Hallmark moment, but I swear to you that when I stop and think about sort of the repercussions of drinking that, I know that it's gonna be like the first sip is gonna be delicious and I'm gonna be like, oh, that's so good. And then, but everything else after that, just, I'm all set with it. Second thing that's sort of negative is that I literally felt like high holy garbage the first 10 days of not drinking. I had what they call brain fog. I was exhausted, fatigued, like I had to nap every single day. I had this wicked headache. I felt kind of depressed, very anxious, and just like I basically got punched in the face. I will tell you that on the 11th day when I stopped drinking, the clouds parted. Headache went away. I started to feel better. I was, less with that face punch feeling. All of a sudden was like, oh, okay. Okay, I get it now. But the beginning part was really shitty. Sorry, the beginning part was really unpleasant. Okay, the last thing is something that I continue to deal with, and it is something that there will be additional videos about because it's really an important topic that is worth exploring. When you drink alcohol, you have kind of a cushion for your anxiety. If you suffer from anxiety, which I do, I haven't talked about it much, I will be talking about it more. If you suffer from anxiety, alcohol can be a soft pillow to land on. When you are having a difficult moment or a difficult day, you can relax, big air quotes there, by having a glass of something. It chills you out. Even scientifically speaking, it does chill you out, but the problem is it only chills you out for about 20 minutes, and then after that comes the bad stuff. Figuring out how to create a soft cushion for yourself if you suffer from anxiety when you're not drinking. You get rid of that compensatory mechanism, you've got to find something else. You've got to find a way to manage your anxiety that doesn't involve, a substance, or in my case, going out and running 5 hours. This adjustment is It's not easy. I have definitely been stumbling through this part, and we're gonna talk about this more. So there's my positives and negatives of not drinking alcohol. If you really look at it, they're kind of all positives. I can't tell you enough how life-changing this has been. I don't regret it for 1 second. I am over a month, as I said, now without alcohol, and I don't really feel like this is gonna be a temporary thing. I'm not saying I'm never gonna drink again. I'm just saying that for right now, I'm feeling so good. This has been such a positive thing in my life that I don't want to go back. I really don't see any reason to stop feeling the good things that I'm feeling and living the good way that I'm living. I'm not saying this is for everyone. I'm not telling people what to do, just giving you my experience and just telling you that it's so positive. If you're curious about it, just give it a try. Try 30 days without drinking alcohol. There's 1,000,001 programs online and resources, some of which I will link below, that can help you through this process. I'm certainly no expert, just learning about it myself, but I think that the more voices that we have that talk about how positive this can be in their lives, the better we are. If you are at all interested, if you want to give it a try, like I said, you have my support, that's for sure. So, thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you again soon.